The system is coming apart. We need to unify. We need to establish alliances with each other. We need to bet against the system, as we've been talking about for 1,000 years, you and me. Holding hard assets, physical silver remains my favorite asset of all time. We also need to take advantage of things across the board, that opportunities that come our way. People need to step out of the current financial system. I've been warning about this. Get your cash out of commercial banks. I would say credit unions are safer, not safer. They have no derivative exposure. The mechanism here of vast debt expansion and the associated derivatives with it, see, they just tell us the headline numbers.
Silver is already a scarce commodity today, and numerous indicators suggest that this scarcity will intensify further in the coming months. A further increase in the already significantly risen silver price is therefore to be expected. However, it will not eliminate the problem of scarcity. Bubbles don't emerge out of nowhere, and the collapse of the real estate and banking boom that devastated the Spanish economy in 2012 still weighs heavily. Central banks must also ensure financial stability, acting as an impartial supervisor of the banking system and issuing warnings when credit is becoming excessive. The economy is struggling by accident, and becoming your own central bank means holding physical hard assets and moving your money out of vulnerable commercial banks. In the current system, market experts consider silver a top pick and advise converting market profits into tangible value. Expert and trader Gregory Mannarino warns that the current market is built on an illusion that will eventually collapse. Silver rose to its highest level since July 25th last Friday, after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell opened the door to a rate cut next month. At the annual symposium in Jackson Hole, Powell hinted at a possible rate cut in September, as risks to the job market were rising. Yet, a decision was not set in stone, the Fed chair noted. HSBC is often identified as holding significant short positions in silver futures. It has been noted as a key participant in both COMEX and London markets, with some analysts pointing to it as a leading short seller in recent years. Financial expert Gregory Mannarino argues the middle class is being deliberately crushed as a mechanism of control. He warns it's a deliberate push to replace cash with a new, fully tokenized financial system. This represents an unprecedented consolidation of power, giving governments and central banks total control over your money. Before we dive into Gregory Mannarino's sharp insights from his latest interview, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment when truth meets the market. Let's get into it.
Crushing small business, they're crushing the economy, they're crushing the middle class here as a mechanism of control. Now, think about what you just said. So the U.S. dollar has lost, 96, 98% of its purchasing power. So we now have a sitting president saying, hold on a minute, let me take another 1% away, leave you with now 91% of the original purchasing power of the dollar. And that's going to make the world jump for joy for our products. Anyone who bought that had to be like smoking a crack pipe that reaches from here to Shanghai. I mean, I can't believe anyone believed that at all who has even the slightest understanding in the most remote sense of economics and finance. It's unreal. This situation is just literally unbelievable. So the bridge system here, obviously the stablecoin token here, moving to full tokenization of assets. What they're going to do is pretty obvious. The next steps are this. We're going to be told that cash is unreliable. A lot of crime is being utilizing cash. So we have to make it safer via using this token here. Everything is trackable, traceable. They're gonna convince people that this is what we need to do. But all it is, cash keeps you free and keeps you sovereign. They can't have that. The system must be consolidated. Power must be consolidated. We're moving to an extreme version of control, especially with this yet to be defined merger between corporations. And this is just beginning. Intel, defense stocks, it's going to be across the board, obviously, moving forward. To anyone that can see that is also blind, willfully. But again, you have to also think about where's the cash come from. We don't have it. We're broke. It's got to all come from the Federal Reserve right now. And they're playing the game that is being played on the charade, the clown show that is being played on the American people is an incredible thing. But what's more incredible than the show is the fact that there's no pushback. People aren't doing anything about it. They're not taking to the streets. Me, I'm doing everything I possibly can, as you are, to try to let people understand what's going on, what they need to do. What does it all mean for people? I mean, the bottom line is, look, man, prepare for where we're going. No one is ready for this, and I mean no one. And it's happening almost at a blitzkrieg pace. We're seeing salvo after salvo after salvo of the look. I mean, just look at some of these headlines today. This is today. Durable goods orders falling off of a cliff. U.S. consumer tapped out. Home prices here falling here. You got extraordinary weak demand over here. Trump Pentagon now weighing again, buying more companies. You can't make this stuff up. We just found out that the labor market weakest since 2021 and weakening further. This is not a policy mistake. This is not a policy accident. No comedy of errors got us here. What we are seeing is exactly what people like me and you, I would hope, haven't seen you in a while, so I don't know what you've been saying. I've been trying to warn people about. This is not going to stop. This is going to be deliberately exacerbated. What they want is people on their knees begging for a new system, and they're going to get it as people willingly, not you and me, and certainly not the people that are listening to your work here, surrender to the system. The system has become some kind of devilism mechanism. This is not for the people, of the people, by the people at all. The system has been taken over by a very dark force, and there's really no other way to look at it. And anyone here that's holding on even a shred of hope that this is going to change because the guy they chose to sit behind the Resolute, this can possibly be malaligned with something that isn't holy, and maybe they should look within. The system is coming apart. We need to unify. We need to establish alliances with each other. We need to bet against the system, as we've been talking about for 1,000 years, you and me. Holding hard assets, physical silver remains my favorite asset of all time. We also need to take advantage of things across the board, that opportunities that come our way. People need to step out of the current financial system. I've been warning about this. Get your cash out of commercial banks. I would say credit unions are safer, not safe here. They have no derivative exposure. The mechanism here of vast debt expansion and the associated derivatives with it. See, they just tell us the headline numbers. What people don't understand is every single Wall Street bet on one side or the other has multiple on either end derivative exposure. The system is so out of control right now, and the mechanism behind it. Look, what's going to end up happening here is very, very obvious. They need an event to occur that's going to force people, and then all the pawns are already set up. President Trump signed the Genius Act into law. They got stable coins there. They got to kill the dollar. When you hear a sitting president calling for a weaker dollar, it doesn't help the American people at all, and it's certainly not going to cause the world to jump for joy for American products because of the exchange rate. This is a lie, and I can't believe people actually bought it, but they did. Okay, so people need to move forward. People need to realize that they've been duped, that they've been lied to, and they need to take action. Again, financially, it's very simple. I think the strategy is the same. Betting against the system, becoming our own central bank, looking for other opportunities in the financial system. If you're able to use the market as a mechanism here as well, and convert those profits into hard assets here. This is a dream come true for the we. The we, that is the people that Trump is talking to here. The government getting involved, buying companies, artificially suppressed rates, weaker currency, vast debt expansion has the potential again to push the stock market much higher until it stops. We got artificially suppressed rates, Fed in here buying it all. We got the Treasury buying back their own debt. Soon, again, we're going to see no doubt about it. The Fed doesn't even really need to lower rates at this point, but again, people want more easy money. The market wants more easy money. So again, the corporations can buy back shares of their own stock, pump up that share price, refinance their debt at a lower price as well. This is all what they're looking for. This is why it doesn't matter. The disconnect between the economy is going to continue again until it doesn't. So that's how I see it moving forward. But people need to understand that they got to be ready for a worst case scenario, because that's what we're being pushed.
The U.S. economy is being deliberately dismantled. Gregory Mannarino argues that this is a controlled demolition through debt, artificially low rates, and dollar devaluation, which are crushing the middle class. The stock market is a mirage, fueled by easy money and buybacks, completely disconnected from a deteriorating real economy. According to him, it's a planned transition toward a state corporate system, with the recent U.S. government stake in Intel and Trump's Genius Act as steps toward a fully tokenized system of total control. Controlling access to money is no longer the exclusive privilege of the sovereign. The guiding and establishing national innovation for U.S. stablecoins has formalized this transformation by creating a framework for regulated U.S. banks to issue dollar-backed stablecoins. Stablecoins have a unique role in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Some estimates forecast that as much as $1.75 trillion in new dollar-backed stablecoins could enter circulation over the next 3 years. The consequences of that expansion will reverberate far beyond the United States borders, reshaping the global monetary landscape and challenging the strategic calculations of every country that relies on the dollar to settle international trade. Chief among them is China. From China's perspective, dollar stablecoins are not just economically disruptive, but also an outright political threat. Let's return to the interview.
Markets have been reacting as you would expect in an environment where nothing matters anymore except for vast debt expansion on a planetary scale, artificially suppressed rates as far as the eye can see when we haven't seen anything yet, currency devaluation, again, on an epic scale. The last thing on this earth that the U.S. economy needs right now is a weaker dollar where people can't survive in this environment. Durable goods orders come in today, again, lower. People can't find jobs that are paying anything, and the ones that are paying here, real wages are being dissolved by currency purchasing power losses. Well, yeah, the situation is extreme, meaning what's happening is just too freaking in our face. The world doesn't want our debt. The world doesn't want our dollar. The United States economy is in collapse. We're being destroyed from within. They got exactly the perfect guy in there to do it. When he keeps referring to we need a weaker dollar. Who? Do you need a weaker dollar? Do I need a weaker dollar? No. Do I want my purchasing power evaporated? He's talking to the 1% and 2%ers. We need lower rates. Who's we? Again, the 1% and 2%ers who benefit from the Cantillon effect. Artificially suppressed rates, vast debt expansion, and again, they throw things in our face like this big beautiful bill, adding $4.1 trillion to the debt here. Look, we're being dissolved. The stock market is completely disconnected from reality. We've never seen distortions like this in the history of the world, but the market's counting on more easy money. The more debt expansion we get, the more artificially suppressed rates are, the weaker the currency gets, potentially the higher the stock market could go. They're disconnected from reality. We've never seen this before. It's on a planetary scale. People can't make it. That's, again, the faster they can push the economy through the crust of the earth, the higher the market potentially it could go. And the bubbles and the asset distortions here could get much worse moving forward. I urge people, when you hear a sitting president calling for a weaker dollar, you have to realize that that person is not working for the American people. The last thing we need is a weaker dollar or artificially suppressed rates. If people want to take 2 seconds and verify what I'm going to say is true, maybe they should do that. The most prosperous times for this nation, in fact, any nation living under the rulership of a central bank, is not when the currency purchasing power is being destroyed on the back of artificially suppressed rates. It is when rates are much higher and the currency has more purchasing power. Our industrial engine here in the United States is being systematically and deliberately wiped out. Consumers can't consume. Why? The currency is being dissolved with regard to purchasing power, so consumers don't consume. Our factories won't produce. And now we're seeing a merger between the government here. Trump just announced his great deal with Intel, 10% stake in Intel, and now moving forward to defense. This is going to, the merger here of the system into a state-controlled corporate entity is really in our face. We're losing our freedoms. We are losing our liberties. People willingly are surrendering them in this environment here. The whole charade with the Federal Reserve, come on. What's the Fed doing right now? They're buying it all. They're the lender and buyer of last resort. Again, no one wants our debt. No one wants our dollar. Not even you. Not even me. American citizens don't want our dollars because they're being dissolved. Artificially suppressed rates, who does that help? That helps these corporations here buy back shares of their own debt or their own stock. Buy back shares of their own companies here to prop up. They can refinance their debt, of course, at a lower rate, is what I meant to say. But what they're going to do with this new injection of capital via the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates is what they've been doing, prop up the stock market again, enriching themselves, the 1% and 2%ers. How do the fat cats at these corporations make their cash? Well, year-end stock price. We all know that. So yeah, you can expect artificially suppressed rates to be taken advantage of by these corporations who are going to do exactly what we said: refinance their own debt at a lower rate here, and of course buy back shares of their own stock, propping up the market. This is what, as at the cost of what? The economy itself, U.S. small business, the corporate agenda is being fulfilled. We've never been here before. This is the worst possible situation we could walk into. Now, with this game that the Fed is playing with President Trump, look, man, the Fed is in here buying all the debt, and now they have the U.S. Treasury issuing debt and then buying back their own debt with the main line to the Federal Reserve. It's a game. The Fed they're already in full-blown yield curve control. President Trump, where does he get the cash to buy a 10% stake at Intel or Lockheed Martin or anything else? He's got to get on the phone with Powell, his closest friend right now, and say, hey, listen, dude, we really duped all these people, well, the red hats, and they really have no clue as to what's going on. Let's take advantage of it even more because they're all useful freaking idiots. So let's just inflate the debt. Look, we're in a death spiral. Every failed state, go back as far as you want to go, or nation, does the same exact thing. They merger corporations with the government. They vastly inflate the debt. They artificially suppress rates. They kill the currency, and then the nation falls. Anyone who can't see that we are being destroyed from the inside is willfully blind and has no clue as to what's really going on. It's a shame. President Trump just signed into law this Genius Act, which is going to allow a privatization of the monetary system. In other words, Apple coin, BlackRock coin, Walmart token. This is how it starts. The bait and switch here, you gotta hand it to President Trump. You really, really do. This is how he feels about the people that follow him. It's in actions, not in words. Okay, actions. What did he do? He signs an executive order, no central bank digital currency, and his people cheered for that. So what does he do? He finds a workaround, privatize the financial system using tokens, stablecoin tokens, okay? Their book, they have a different book than we follow, bro, okay? You and I follow this book. This is our book, all right? Our book dictates that their book dictates that they have to tell you what they're going to do first. President Trump calling himself a stable genius. We got stable coins, Genius Act. Even if they talk in code, this is a complete workaround with regard to a central bank digital currency. These stable coin tokens, completely unconstitutional, now signed into law again, Genius Act. So which is going to happen here, and the Fed is now overseeing it, privatized. Yes, which means we're going to wish we had a central bank digital currency because at least in theory, we would have some oversight. But by privatizing it, by President Trump pulling this bait and switch here, it's an incredible thing. I mean, it really is. It's probably one of the greatest financial deceptions in the history of finance, honestly. Find this workaround here, privatize the system, stablecoin tokens here, just a bridge to full tokenization. Everybody knows this coming. Everybody knows this coming now, but where's the pushback? You know, hopefully people listening to this interview we're doing here, and they're going to get something out of it. At least I hope so. But some people are just so dumbed down at this point. They have no idea what's going on. They can't survive. They're being forced to again participate in a system that's maliciously designed to destroy them from the inside. But again, imagine this, a completely unconstitutional system where private corporations are going to issue their own tokens. And this is not currency. It is certainly not money. But that's the first step to full tokenization. Then comes the merger between these same corporations who are going to be allowed to issue their own tokens here with government. Anyone who can't see what's going on here, as I have to say this, Elijah, is literally willfully blind. And what are they doing? Nothing. Most people are sitting back still thinking that, oh, things are going to change. This can't possibly be happening, but it is. Right before their eyes, the truth is always hidden in plain sight. What I've been trying to tell people for 1,000 years. So if people don't start to take action against what they're seeing, I don't care if they're wearing a red hat, a green hat, a pink hat, a white hat, they're completely lost. We need to push back against what we're seeing here because we are literally being destroyed from within.
While the public is being told that everything is fine, the world's elite are already positioning themselves for the collapse. They're selling paper assets and taking physical delivery of gold and silver because they know the endgame is here. Those who invest conservatively primarily buy physical silver and wait. Meanwhile, investors who want to leverage the upcoming massive silver scarcity can also bet on silver mines and silver project developers. If the dismantling of the old system is inevitable, how can individuals best protect their wealth and freedom before being forced into a system of total control? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to support our channel and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the following video.